My name's Barbara Wilson and I'm HR Director here at Catlin, based in the City of London. I think it's important to support people with cancer in the workplace on a whole number of levels. For the individual who has cancer, I think it's really important psychologically that they work, but also financially. I think for those who have friends or family with cancer, it's very important for them to feel that they're supported in having time off to be with their family or with loved ones when they need to be. I'd never force somebody to work if they didn't want to, clearly. People often take the opportunity to want to do something else with their lives, so we all have choices, and it's important that people take the time to think what's the right thing for them. But I think it's important to realise that the world of work isn't closed to you, and the fact that you have cancer doesn't mean that you can't work or you shouldn't work. For the employer, I think there are again lots of benefits to helping employees return to work or to work during that period of their illness. It really depends how the individual feels. In a very hard-nosed way, which I wouldn't say was the first reason we do it, is that you've invested a lot of time and money in an individual, and to lose that individual is an enormous loss for for the organisation. But there are lots of other softer benefits for colleagues, for managers. I think it's important that they see that the company is there not just for the purpose of people working, but to support people and help people at difficult times. If a manager were to come to us with a question about one of their employees who told them that they've got cancer, what we'd be keen to do is to explain to them what cancer's about, what the cancer journey is like, and how they can help the individual concerned. And we would explain to them, you know, the impact of the illness on work day to day, the options available to them as a manager in terms of offering part-time working or flexible working or just a period for the individual to be at home or whatever is required. So it's about telling them that they can be as flexible as they'd like to be and help them understand that this is not about trying to find an instant solution, that they need to find out more from the employee. We would help them do that so we could work through a plan of how we would help that people throughout the period of the illness, really. Very often managers will be concerned that there's a task to be done, a deadline to be met. And what we will do is we'll advise them on how they can work through that, either through employing someone else on a temporary basis or changing work patterns around, or by just enabling an individual to work at home. But sometimes managers they only see one option available where there's maybe a number, and it's our job to show them what good practice is, what the options are available. It's interesting, most people know about religious discrimination and sex discrimination, but actually cancer is also covered by legislation. And it's important that both employers and employees understand that it is illegal to sack someone because they have cancer or discriminate against them because they have cancer. I think of all the things that are really important for employers and employees to understand is that communication is absolutely essential to managing work and cancer. If the employer doesn't know that an individual is ill, they can't do anything about that to help them. The one thing that most often helps an individual get through their journey with cancer, it's very often knowing that their employer is supporting them and helping them to secure a proper recovery. Macmillan is definitely the first port of call. I've worked with Macmillan now for some years. Macmillan have a great source of information and advice through the toolkits that they've recently produced, but also through the helpline. I think communication is absolutely critical, and no one should be afraid of cancer. Everyone should be prepared to discuss it openly and freely and work to to get over it.